The space station floated quietly in orbit around an unknown planet. Ryan stood inside the observation deck, staring out at the endless stars. He had been assigned here as an engineer to study strange signals that came from an old alien structure on the planet's surface. The station was small, with only a few crew members. Most of the time, Ryan was alone with the machines, keeping everything running. For weeks, the signal from the planet had remained steady. But today, something changed. The signal spiked and a new frequency appeared. Ryan immediately became curious. His human nature always pushed him to explore the unknown. Without hesitation, he geared up, took a small shuttle, and landed near the ancient structure. The structure looked like a tall pyramid made of dark metal. Strange symbols covered its surface. The entrance stood open as if inviting him in. Ryan walked carefully inside, shining his light along the walls. The air was cold, and the silence inside was heavy. As he moved deeper, he reached a large chamber. In the middle of the room stood a glowing pod. Its surface was cracked, and inside, something was moving. Ryan stepped closer, his heart pounding. Suddenly, the pod hissed, and the front opened with a slow, creaking sound. A figure stumbled out and fell to the ground. Ryan rushed forward, not knowing what to expect. Lying on the floor was a girl, but not human. Her skin was pale with a soft bluish-purple tone. She had small elf-like ears and long silver hair that fell over her shoulders. Her eyes were half open and she looked weak, barely able to breathe. Ryan knelt beside her. "Hey, can you hear me?" The girl slowly looked up, her voice trembling. "Please, help me." Her voice was soft and musical, though filled with pain. Ryan carefully helped her sit up. He could feel how cold and weak she was. "Who are you?" Ryan asked gently. I'm Layara," she whispered. "I have been trapped here for so long." Ryan was surprised. "Trapped? How long have you been here?" Layara shook her head slowly. "I don't know, many cycles. I was placed in stasis. I was supposed to be safe, but something failed." Ryan could see she was struggling to stay awake. "I need to get you back to my station. You need medical help." But Layara suddenly grabbed his hand. Her touch was cold but gentle. "No, medicine will not help me. My kind, we feed on a special energy. Without it, we grow weak and die." Ryan was confused. "What kind of energy?" Layara looked into his eyes. "Human energy. Your kind carries a unique life force. Very rare. I can sense it in you." Ryan pulled his hand back slightly. The idea sounded strange. Was she dangerous? Was this some kind of trap? Sensing his fear, Layara spoke quickly. "Please, I mean no harm. The process is safe. I only need a little to survive." Ryan hesitated. Everything inside him told him to be careful. But at the same time, he saw the desperation in her eyes. She wasn't attacking him. She was simply begging for help. His human instincts, the part that couldn't watch someone suffer, won over his caution. "All right," Ryan said softly. "But only a little. You have to promise you won't hurt me." Layara nodded weakly. "I promise." She placed her hands gently on his shoulders and closed her eyes. Ryan felt a strange warmth spread through his body. It wasn't painful, more like a mild, tingling sensation. The process lasted for less than a minute. When Layara opened her eyes again, she looked much stronger. Her pale skin now had a gentle glow, and her eyes were brighter. She smiled for the first time. "Thank you," she said with great relief. That was enough, for now. Ryan pulled back, slightly dizzy but unharmed. "Are you all right?" "Yes." "You saved me." Layara stood up slowly, her movements steadier now. "I owe you my life." Ryan was still trying to understand what had just happened. He had never met any species like hers. There were hundreds of alien races in the galaxy, but none that needed human energy to live. "We should go," Ryan said. "My station has food, water, and shelter. You'll be safer there." Layara smiled again and followed him out of the structure. As they stepped into the shuttle, Ryan couldn't help but wonder, what exactly had he gotten himself into? Back on the station, as Ryan guided the shuttle toward the docking bay, Layara sat beside him, watching him closely. Her eyes were filled with curiosity. But deep inside, a new feeling started to grow, one she didn't fully understand yet. She wanted more of his energy. And not just for survival. Back at the space station, Ryan moved quickly. He needed to make sure Liara was safe and healthy. The medical bay was small but well-equipped. Ryan gently helped Liara onto the examination table. She looked around with wide, curious eyes, as if everything was new to her. Ryan began checking her vital signs with the station's scanners. The readings were strange. Lyra's heart rate was very low, and her body temperature was colder than a human's. He frowned. You really are weak. No wonder you needed energy so badly, Liara nodded slowly. Yes, without your energy I feel like I'm fading away. Ryan thought about what she said. Her kind lived by absorbing energy from humans, but how? Could it be dangerous? He decided to learn more before making any decisions. Can you explain how it works? Ryan asked. Liara took a deep breath. My people feed on life energy, but not like parasites. It is more like a transfer, a sharing. Humans carry a unique bioelectrical frequency in their bodies. When I touch you, I can absorb a little of this energy. It revitalizes me and heals my cells, Ryan blinked. And it's safe? For both of us? Yes, Liara said, her eyes shining, if done carefully. If I take too much, it can harm you, but I will never do that. I am too grateful for your kindness. Ryan felt a mixture of fear and wonder. He had heard stories of energy vampires in old Earth myths, but this was different. Lyra's need was real, and she seemed honest. All right, Ryan said finally. Let's try the process again, but under control. I want to see how it affects both of us. Liara smiled gently. Thank you. Ryan moved to a small machine nearby. It measured and controlled energy flow during transfers. He adjusted the settings to the lowest level. Then he sat beside Liara. Just place your hands on me again, Ryan said softly. Liara reached out and touched his arm. Her skin was cool, but smooth. She closed her eyes and focused. Ryan felt a soft tingling spreading from where she touched him. It was not painful, but it was a new feeling, like tiny electric waves moving through his veins. Minutes passed. Ryan watched Liara closely. Her breathing slowed and her body relaxed. After a moment, she opened her eyes. I feel stronger, she said quietly. Much stronger. Ryan looked at her. The pale color of her skin had changed to a soft light blue, almost like a calm ocean. Her eyes sparkled with new energy. How do you feel? Ryan asked. Liara smiled. Alive. Thank you again. Ryan checked himself carefully. He felt tired. But okay, his body seemed to recover quickly. This is amazing, he said. Your species must have a very special connection with humans. Yes, Liara said. Your energy is rare. Other species do not have it in the same way. Ryan's mind raced with questions. Could this energy be studied? Could humans use it for healing or power? He had many ideas, but knew he had to be careful. For the next few days, Ryan helped Liara recover. She learned how to live in a human environment. She was fascinated by simple things, water, food, even gravity. Her movements became more confident, and her smiles more frequent. But Ryan noticed something else. Lyra's need for energy seemed to grow stronger. She asked for transfers more often. Sometimes she would watch him with a soft, almost pleading look. Ryan tried to stay calm and set limits. We have to be careful, he reminded her. If you take too much, it could hurt me. Liara nodded, but Ryan could see a new hunger in her eyes. It was different from before, deeper and more urgent. One evening, Ryan worked late in the control room. Liara sat nearby, reading an old book Ryan had found in the station's library. The station was quiet, and the stars outside twinkled like distant diamonds. Suddenly, Liara put the book down and stood up. She walked slowly toward Ryan. I want to try something, she said softly. Ryan looked up, surprised. What is it? Liara reached out and touched his hand again. This time, the feeling was stronger. Ryan felt a warm pulse flow through his body. It was pleasant but more intense than before. Liara closed her eyes and smiled. Thank you. Ryan noticed her eyes glowing faintly with a soft blue light. He was amazed. Are you okay? He asked. Yes, she said. I feel wonderful. Your energy is like a fire in me. Ryan smiled but felt a little tired. He knew this could not go on forever. In the following days, their bond grew. Liara helped Ryan with his work on the station, using her alien knowledge to fix problems quickly. Ryan enjoyed teaching her about human life. They shared stories and laughter, but the hunger never left Lyra's eyes. She became more attached, following Ryan everywhere. When he was busy, she waited patiently. When he rested, she stayed close. Ryan realized something important. This was not just about energy anymore. Lyra's feelings were changing. She was forming a connection, something deeper than survival. One night, Ryan looked at her carefully. Lyra, do you understand what is happening between us? Lyra looked down shyly. Yes, I feel something new. It is stronger than hunger. It is care, and maybe something more. Ryan smiled softly. Me too. They sat quietly, two very different beings from different worlds, slowly learning to trust and understand each other. Outside, the stars kept shining, unaware of the small miracle growing inside a lonely space station. Days passed quietly on the space station. Ryan and Liara grew closer, sharing moments that felt like the beginning of a new friendship, or perhaps something more. Yet beneath the calm, Ryan noticed a change. Lyra's need for his energy was growing stronger and more urgent. It was no longer just about survival. It had become a constant pull. One morning, Ryan woke to find Lyra standing beside his bed. Her eyes looked tired but hopeful. Good morning, she said softly. Ryan smiled and sat up. Morning, you look tired, Lyra nodded. I am, but I do not want to bother you. Ryan shook his head. You never bother me. But if you feel weak, you should rest, Lyra sighed. I want to try a transfer now, please. Ryan hesitated. He was careful, but he trusted her. All right, just a little. They sat together in the small living area. Lyra placed her hands on Ryan's arm. The familiar tingling spread through him. He felt warm, calm. Lyra's eyes closed as she absorbed the energy. After a few minutes, she opened her eyes and smiled. Thank you. Ryan felt fine too, but inside he was worried. This was happening more and more often. Could his body handle it? Lyra sensed his concern. Ryan, you do not have to worry. I'm careful, but I don't want to be hurt, Ryan said honestly. I am not sure how much energy I can give. Lyra looked at him with soft eyes. I understand. I do not want to hurt you. You are my friend. Ryan reached out and took her hand. I care about you too. The bond between them grew stronger, but so did Lyra's dependence on him. She started following him everywhere, to the lab, the control room, even during his rest time. She wanted to be near him, to feel close. One evening, while Ryan worked on a broken control panel, Lyra watched silently. She was quiet, but her eyes betrayed her thoughts. Ryan noticed and stopped his work. What is on your mind? Lyra hesitated, then spoke softly. I worry about my hunger. It is stronger now. I do not want to lose control. Ryan frowned. What happens if you do? Lyra's gaze dropped. I might hurt you. Or worse, I might lose myself. Ryan stood and walked over to her. We will find a way, I promise. You are not alone. Her lips curved into a small smile, but her eyes held a shadow of fear. That night, Ryan stayed awake thinking. He wanted to help Lyra, but he did not know how. Her kind's dependence on human energy was unlike anything he had ever heard. The next day, the station's AI alerted Ryan to an incoming message. It was from the Galactic Research Council, a group that studied alien life across the universe. Ryan hesitated before opening the message. The council had strict rules about unknown species, especially those with unusual needs. The message read, We have detected unauthorized alien presence on your station. Please report immediately. Containment. Protocols may be necessary. Ryan's heart sank. He knew this meant trouble for Lyra, he quickly told her. The council is coming. They might want to take you away. Lyra looked scared. They will not understand me. They will see me as a threat. Ryan held her hand firmly. I will protect you. We will face this together. Days later, a small fleet of ships arrived and docked with the station. Council officers in white suits boarded, moving quickly and carefully. The lead officer, Commander Vex, was stern and unyielding. "You have an alien on board that violates galactic law," he said to Ryan. "We must take her into custody for study." Ryan shook his head. "She is not a threat. She needs help, not punishment." Commander Vex frowned. "Your feelings do not change the law. This species is known to drain life energy. They are dangerous." Liara stepped forward, her voice trembling but strong. "I do not want to harm anyone. I only want to survive. Ryan has helped me learn control." Commander Vex looked at her coldly. "Your promises mean little. You must come with us." Ryan stepped between them. "No, I will not let you take her." The tension filled the room. The officers were ready to use force. Lyra's eyes flickered with nervous energy. Ryan looked at Liara and whispered, "We need a plan." Liara nodded. "I will try to hide." That night, under the cover of darkness, Ryan helped Liara escape from the medical bay. She used her unique abilities to cloak their presence from the station's sensors. They reached the shuttle bay, where Ryan prepared the ship for takeoff. The council's alarms blared, and officers rushed toward them. "Go now!" Ryan urged. The shuttle lifted off just as the council forces arrived. The station's communication was filled with shouts and commands. But Ryan and Liara sped away into the vastness of space. As the stars stretched before them, Liara looked at Ryan with gratitude. "Thank you for saving me." Ryan smiled tiredly. "We have a long journey ahead." But deep inside, Ryan knew that Lyra's growing dependence would make their journey more difficult. Together, they would have to find a way to survive. And to protect the fragile bond between them, Ryan's shuttle drifted through the quiet depths of space, the stars shining like distant fires in the black. Despite the calm outside, inside the small cabin tension filled the air. Liara sat beside Ryan, her hands folded nervously in her lap. Her eyes were wide with fear. "The council will not stop looking for us," she whispered. "They see me as a danger," Ryan nodded. "I know, they do not understand you. But I believe we can show them you are different." Liara looked at him, hope and worry mixed in her gaze. "How? They will listen only to their rules?" Ryan took a deep breath. "We need help. Somewhere far from here, where they respect all life. We must find a place to hide, to learn control, and to prove your kind can live without harm." Liara's face softened. "I want that too. I want peace." Just then, the shuttle's communication system beeped. Ryan checked the screen. A hologram of the council's leader, Commander Vex, appeared. "Ryan?" The commander's voice was cold and firm. "Surrender, Liara. This is your final warning." Ryan stared at the message, then cut the connection. "She is not a prisoner. She is my friend, and I will not give her up." Lyra's hand found his, squeezing gently. "Thank you." Ryan smiled weakly. "We have to be careful." The council. "We'll send more ships." Days passed. Ryan piloted the shuttle toward a distant system known for its neutral stance in galactic affairs. The journey was long, and supplies were limited. Lyra's energy hunger grew stronger, and Ryan had to manage each transfer carefully to keep her alive without harming himself. One evening, as Ryan repaired the engine, Liara approached him. "Ryan, I want to learn to control my hunger." He wiped sweat from his brow. "That's good, but how will you do that?" Liara looked thoughtful. "My people used to meditate. They could calm the need inside. Maybe I can try." Ryan nodded. "It's worth trying." From that day, Liara spent hours each day sitting quietly, focusing on her breath and the energy inside her. Ryan watched with hope, but one day, the shuttle's sensors detected a fleet approaching fast. "Council ships," Ryan said, alarmed. Liara stood beside him, eyes sharp. "They have found us again." Ryan prepared for evasive maneuvers. The small shuttle was no match for the Council's fleet, but he hoped to outrun them. The chase was tense and fast. The Council's ships fired warning shots. Ryan dodged and twisted through asteroid fields, merrily avoiding disaster. After hours of flight, Ryan found a small, uncharted moon and landed quickly. "We can hide here," he said, breathing hard. Liara nodded. Good. As they explored the moon's surface, Ryan found a cave with ancient markings. Inside, the air was cool and still. Liara traced her fingers over the symbols. "These are old signs of my people," she said softly. "They speak of balance and control," Ryan smiled. "Maybe this is the place you need." Over the next days, Ryan and Liara made the cave their home. Liara continued her meditation and practiced controlling her hunger. Slowly, she learned to feel the energy inside without needing to take from Ryan constantly. The hunger was still there, but she could manage it. Ryan felt relief. "You're getting stronger," Liara smiled. "Thanks to you." But peace was short-lived. One morning, the council's ships appeared again, scanning the moon. Ryan and Liara knew they had to act fast. Ryan contacted a group of neutral explorers who lived nearby. He explained their story. Hoping for help, the explorers agreed to mediate a meeting with the council. At the meeting, Ryan and Liara stood before the council leaders. Ryan spoke first. "Liara is not a danger. She is learning to control her hunger. We ask for a chance to prove that she and her kind can live peacefully with others." Liara added softly, "I want to live without fear. I want to be free." The council listened but remained stern. After a long discussion, the leaders agreed to give Liara a trial period. If she could show she controlled her hunger and posed no threat, she could stay. Ryan and Liara felt hope bloom. They left the meeting knowing that many challenges remained. But for the first time, the future seemed brighter. Together, they prepared to face whatever came next. The days following the council's reluctant agreement were tense. Ryan and Liara knew their time was limited. They had a chance, but it was fragile. Any mistake could lead to capture and imprisonment. Ryan studied the ship's systems carefully. The shuttle was small and old, but with some upgrades it could travel faster and farther. He decided to use every bit of his engineering skill to prepare for an escape, just in case. Liara watched him work, admiring his determination. "You do so much for me," she said softly. "Why?" Ryan smiled, wiping grease from his hands. "Because you're not just some alien to me, you're a friend, maybe even more." Liara blushed lightly, her pale blue skin glowing softly. "I feel the same." Their bond had grown deeper through hardship. They shared laughs and stories, hopes and fears. But danger was never far away. One night, as the stars shone above, Ryan revealed his plan. "I'm going to modify the shuttle's engine and add a cloaking system," he explained. "If we can hide from the council's sensors, we can slip away." Lyra's eyes widened. "That is risky," Ryan nodded. "It is. But it may be our only way." They worked together, gathering parts from old station equipment and the shuttle's stores. Ryan rewired systems, while Liara used her alien knowledge to help fine-tune the energy flow. The work was long and tiring, but neither complained. They were focused on freedom. As the days passed, Lyra's hunger sometimes flared up, but with Ryan's support and her meditation, she controlled it better. She learned to ask when she needed energy, and Ryan responded with care and limits. Finally, the shuttle was ready. It looked the same on the outside, but was much stronger inside. Ryan double-checked everything. "We're ready," Liara smiled. "I am ready." The moment came. They boarded the shuttle quietly and prepared for launch. Outside, council ships patrolled the sky. The tension was thick. Ryan started the engines. The shuttle lifted off, rising swiftly into space. "Activate cloaking," Ryan said. Liara reached to a small control panel and pressed a button. The shuttle shimmered and then disappeared from all sensors. The council ships scanned frantically but found no sign. Ryan piloted the shuttle skillfully, navigating through asteroid fields and space debris. "We're safe," he whispered, but both knew it was only temporary. Hours later, as the shuttle drifted farther, Liara rested beside Ryan. "I cannot thank you enough," she said softly. "You saved my life," Ryan smiled. "We saved each other." Their journey was just beginning. The universe was vast and full of unknown dangers, but together they felt strong. Still, Ryan worried about Lyra's hunger. It was part of who she was, but could it ever be fully controlled? One evening, while Ryan worked on the navigation system, Liara approached with a serious look. "There is something I must tell you," she said. Ryan stopped and looked up. What is it? Liara hesitated. The hunger is changing. It is no longer just a need to survive. It is becoming an emotion, a connection. Ryan frowned slightly. What do you mean? Liara looked into his eyes. When I take your energy, I feel closer to you. It is not just about life force, it is about trust and care. Ryan felt his heart beat faster. That's new. Liara smiled softly. It is beautiful, but also scary. Ryan reached for her hand. We'll face it together. Their bond grew stronger, but so did the challenges ahead, unknown to them. Distant council ships began to track unusual energy patterns, signatures that matched the modified shuttle. The chase would soon start again, but for now, Ryan and Liara held on to hope that together they could find a new home, a place where they belonged. The stars stretched endlessly outside the shuttle's windows as Ryan and Liara sped through space. The hum of the engines was the only sound inside the small cabin. For a while, it felt like they had escaped all danger. But Ryan knew it was only a matter of time before the council found them again. One evening, as Ryan monitored the shuttle's sensors, a sudden warning beeped. He looked up sharply. Liara, he said, we're not alone. Liara's eyes widened. Council ships, they found us. Ryan's fingers moved quickly over the controls. We have to get out of here. The shuttle shot forward, weaving through asteroids and space debris. The council ships pursued, firing warning lasers that bounced harmlessly off Ryan's newly installed shields. Despite his skill, Ryan knew the council's fleet was larger and better equipped. They needed a plan. Liara, can you help me? He asked. Liara nodded. I can use my energy to boost the shields, but only for short bursts, Ryan smiled. Let's try it. Liara closed her eyes and focused. A faint blue glow surrounded her hands, and the shuttle's shields brightened. The council's attacks weakened, giving Ryan precious seconds to maneuver. The chase lasted for hours, testing their endurance and skill. At one point, Liara's energy drained quickly, and Ryan slowed the shuttle to allow her to rest. You're amazing, Ryan said softly. Liara smiled weakly. I want to protect you, just as you protect me. During a brief calm, Ryan looked at Liara carefully. How are you feeling? She hesitated. The hunger is stronger. Sometimes it scares me. Ryan reached out, taking her hand gently. We'll find a way, together. The bond between them had grown deeper, built on trust, care, and shared struggles. Suddenly, the council ships surrounded them, cutting off escape routes. Ryan's heart raced. We need to act fast. Liara focused her energy again. This time, the glow was stronger, lighting the cabin with soft blue light. The shields surged, pushing back the council's attacks. Ryan seized the moment. He activated the shuttle's stealth system, making them invisible to enemy sensors. The council ships searched in confusion, unable to find them. Ryan and Liara held their breath as the danger passed. When it was safe, Liara looked at Ryan with gratitude. Your trust gives me strength, Ryan smiled. And your strength gives me hope. They decided to find a safe place to hide and recover, using ancient star maps Ryan found in the station's library. They located a remote planet, uncharted and untouched. The planet was covered in dense forests and deep valleys. It seemed perfect for hiding. As they descended through the atmosphere, Ryan and Liara felt a mix of relief and excitement. On the ground, they explored the beautiful world. Strange plants glowed softly, and colorful birds sang unknown songs. Liara was fascinated. This place feels alive, Ryan nodded. It's our new home, at least for now. They set up a small camp near a clear lake. Ryan worked on improving the shuttle's communication systems, hoping to stay in touch with friendly allies. Liara spent time meditating, learning to control her hunger better. The fresh air and quiet helped her calm. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Ryan and Liara sat by the fire. I never thought I'd find a friend like you, Ryan said. Liara smiled. And I never thought I would find someone who understands me. They shared stories of their pasts, Ryan's life on Earth, Lyra's memories of her ancient people. Their connection grew, a bridge between two worlds. But Ryan knew the council would not give up easily. They had to be ready for whatever came next. Together they faced the future, uncertain, but full of hope. The remote planet where Ryan and Liara found shelter was quiet and beautiful. The forests were thick with tall trees, and soft light filtered through the leaves. Birds sang gentle songs, and the air smelled fresh and clean. For the first time in a long while, both felt a sense of peace. Ryan looked at Liara as they sat beside a sparkling river. Her skin glowed softly in the sunlight, and her eyes held a calmness he had never seen before. "You've changed a lot," he said. Liara smiled. "I have learned control. Your support helped me find balance." Ryan reached out and took her hand gently. "We did this together." Liara squeezed his hand. "Thank you for believing in me." Days turned into weeks. Lyra's hunger, once a constant threat, was now a quiet feeling she could manage. She no longer needed energy transfers as often, and when she did, it was with care and respect. The bond between Ryan and Liara deepened into something special. They shared laughter, stories, and quiet moments watching the stars. One evening, as the sky darkened and the first stars appeared, Ryan looked at Liara thoughtfully. "Do you ever miss your home?" he asked. Liara nodded. "Sometimes. But this place feels like home now, because of you." Ryan smiled softly. "I feel the same." Their peaceful life was interrupted one morning when a small ship landed near their camp. Ryan and Liara watched cautiously as a group of travelers stepped out. They were members of a neutral, galactic faction, explorers and diplomats who respected all life. The leader, a tall woman with kind eyes, introduced herself. "We've heard of your story. A council has been searching for you." Ryan nodded. "Yes, they don't understand Lyra's kind, but she has changed." "We want peace," the woman smiled. "We believe in second chances. We can help protect you and help the council understand." Over. The next days, Ryan and Liara worked with the diplomats. They shared their story. Demonstrating Lyra's control and peaceful nature, the neutral faction arranged talks with the council. This time, the meeting was different. The council listened carefully, seeing the evidence of change. After long discussions, the council agreed to lift their pursuit. Lyra's species would be studied peacefully, and she was allowed to live freely. Ryan and Liara felt relief and joy. Back on their planet, they watched the sunset, hand in hand. "This is our new beginning," Ryan said. Liara nodded. "Together we can face anything." The future was uncertain, but with trust and love, they knew they could build a life filled with hope. The stars above shone brightly, guiding them forward into a new chapter, one of friendship, courage, and peace.